You know, another difficult weekend for us. Sunday, going in and watching the film, and throughout the evening Sunday because, I guess equally as difficult as last week, but in different ways. You feel like you had a great opportunity to get a victory against a great football team, and just came up short. As I mentioned post game, I still feel the same way. Very proud of our team, the way we responded. Um, After a tough week, the week prior, and really appreciate the resilience of our team and our coaches to put ourselves in a position to win that game. I firmly believe that we had a great plan, and we executed the plan very well for the majority of the night to put ourselves in a position to win the game. And I felt like there was great improvement, and that was something that we obviously needed to see, and feel much better about the growth and the improvement of our team. It's just again comes down to finding some ways to make plays in critical moments to pull off the victory. So, if we could continue to have that attitude, continue to work, then good things are in store for us. One day at a time, one week at a time, and really excited to get our team in here today, review that film, the positives, the negatives, and everything in between, and move forward to Ohio University, a team that's a very good team. And I know most of the time when I say that, most fans don't believe me, but I think this year you could tell by looking at the MAC and some of the very big victories that they've had this year that they're not a joke. And people think it's coach speak when you sit there and say it's just a good league, good teams, good coaches. This staff has been together a long time. The head coach, I think, is going into year 4, but he's been there forever. There's a lot of continuity, and they play very well, extremely balanced on offense, almost 200, I think, right around there. So very balanced offensively, defensively, very, very tough. They play very hard. They mix things up front. They play both 4 down and 3 down, and they make you earn every yard. So it goes back to what I always say, it's about us. Just like last week, it's about us and our preparation and what we do throughout the week to put ourselves in a position to win and to have confidence by our preparation. And so it's back to work, and we're looking forward to the opportunity. Again, I think the crowd that was here last week, I think they made an impact to put us in a position to win that game. I wish we could have done it for them. We're very close, and look forward to coming back home here again this weekend.
With the fumbles, obviously a lot of that is luck, the way the ball bounces, but is there some sort of awareness or skill that guys need to work on in terms of recovering some of those?
Yeah, I mean, we work on all that, and I think I've told you before, you realize that. I mean, I think in year 1 or year 2, when we were not very good, we led the country in fumble recoveries, so, you know, seven footballs have been on the ground. Well, I think the last 2 weeks we haven't got one.
Mark, how do you think the protection, just week to week, did that improve at all?
Protection did improve, and I really have to commend the offensive line because the way we ran the ball in play action, that's where we're going to live in that world, right? Because straight drop back pass and predictable pass against Georgia is not pretty for anybody. And not only with the way they get pressure, but they cover as good as anybody in the country. And a lot of times it's too high. I mean, it's difficult. If you can play with split safeties and have the corners that they do, the matchups that they do, I mean, there are very short windows in there. We tried, and people think, like, we were very balanced, and we attacked, and we tried to hit them a lot. And to their credit, they take it away. We hit some, but we obviously didn't have enough explosive plays. But it's not for a lack of effort. So overall, the protection was better. Not perfect. Again, living in that predictable pass situation, there's still too many sacks and the ball's bouncing all over the place, and so that's something that we got to get cleaned up.
Because you're looking to build depth on that line, do you have an idea when or if Courtland Ford's going to be available?
No, I don't.
I think Brock picked up 4, maybe even 5 first downs with his feet. Bush talked after the game that he had a conversation with Brock about maybe we want to keep you healthy, but sometimes we're going to need you to do that, and it's working. Is that something that can just continue and be part of the game plan?
Yeah, I think if you watch every press conference, which I'm sure you don't have time to do, but if you watch every press conference in the NFL or in college, somebody probably gets asked that question about their quarterback, right? I mean, NFL, they're constantly talking about protecting them and doing that, and so are we. It's part of the game. I think if you tell them to be too cautious or don't do this, don't do that, then they're not going to play the game. They have to play the game. Of course, we want our quarterback protected and smart, but we want him to play ball. And I thought in that game, once again, he showed great awareness, very good pocket presence, and really was tough as nails. Ran for some really tough yards.
Mark, over 200 onside rushing yards. That doesn't happen.
Pardon me?
Over 200 rushing yards if they got the sacks.
Yeah.
It doesn't really happen ever, I think, against Georgia. Just what has impressed you about your all's run game so far, and how big is that to be able to stay ahead of the chain?
I think just mixing it up, being creative in the run game. Obviously, you've seen us, trying to hit the perimeter a lot. You've seen us in zone schemes, but gap schemes have been effective for us in being creative in formations as well. So just not being predictable, and that's what we go back to the week before and winning the pre-snap of all the different eye candy shifts, motions. You could tell we were much more efficient in this game than we were the week before, and that's part of the things that I keep on harping on was just our focus, our discipline and execution. It's focus, discipline, execution that's going to put you in position to win those games, and we did that much better in this game.
Defensively, I think on third down the week prior, there was a lot of man stuff, and then there was a lot of times where you were just dropping 8. What does it say about your unit to be able to execute in a variety of different ways?
Yeah, I thought we mixed it up good. Coach White really did a nice job. We mixed it up. We were much more effective at getting off the field in some tough ones, in some 3rd and 3s, 3rd and 4s. They converted 1 on 3rd and 4. We were in man. They hit a great back shoulder, against Max. That's a tough play. But we did win some good matchups as well, and got some really good pressure on him and made him uncomfortable. Carson Beck is, I would expect him to be one of several in New York. He's that kind of player, he's just a really good player, and we made him uncomfortable at times, and I think that's key.
Brock said that after the game that they're itching to get back into the end zone. What kind of confidence would that give this offense if they're able to?
Well, I think it's super important, to finish with some ends, get some touchdowns. You have to do it however you have to do it. We're 1 field goal away from beating the number 1 team in the country too. So, however we have to get it done, we have to get it done.
Mark, obviously you needed Jimmy more as a receiver last year. But did you see this potential in him as a runner when you signed him out of the portal, or did he have to put in a lot of work to get to this point?
Well, he definitely had to put in some work because he was a little bit in between a year ago, right? We had Ray, and we used Demi in the slot some, and we used him in a variety of ways. And when this year we knew we needed a full commitment from him to be a great running back, and I think you're seeing growth there. Jamarion Wilcox also ran very hard. You saw a guy that has the talent that you've heard me talk about. And, we've been leaning on him for the accountability piece and doing things right all the time. And he really improved. He had a great week of practice, and I'm proud of him the way he stepped in and competed as well. But Demi had some tough yards and really played well. And, again, give the O-line credit because I think there was a lot of improvement in that area.
Mark, when Frank was there, they were a little more diversified with Coach Albin's there, they want to run the football. They got a big running back. What kind of problems does that present for you guys?
Yeah, but they spread it out quite a bit. I think they want to get rid of it and throw it quick, and also run it from spread formations. They're either spread out in 2x2, 3x1, obviously, or they bring the Y in and attach them. They're balanced. I mean, heck, I think is it not? I mean, I don't know exactly. I think it's like 200. So that's pretty good. That's pretty efficient. And defensively, again, they make you earn it. They play extremely hard and they're sound. The MAC has done very well this year. Again, this team has won back-to-back bowl games, if I'm not mistaken, 10 games, 2 years in a row, and beat a heck of a Iowa State team a year ago. So we have to go play good football. But that's what we want, right? We play great competition every week, and we want to continue to build on the good things that we did a week ago, even in the loss. I mean, I saw growth, and I saw guys, a lot of positive behavior in practice, and they responded. I challenged them, and they responded in a good way. So hopefully, we'll continue to grow. I told them in the summer, I mean, preparation and effort doesn't guarantee you results, but it guarantees you growth. And I think, you saw that.
Mark, after the game, Zion told us, and he might have said the same thing down here, that he needed to put the South Carolina game behind him, work hard. But he said, I didn't want my guys to see that it was bothering me, and he wanted to set that tone. Moving forward in a week that maybe a letdown might be a danger, what does that mean to the coaching staff to have guys like that cognizant of how they come off to the younger guys?
Well, I think it's very important. That's the response we're looking for. That's the leadership we're looking for. I'll be honest. I mean, let's not kid ourselves. I mean, it was a challenging week. I think I said that, post game. It was a challenging week. I mean, none of us were very happy. We're still not happy. We're not happy because we lost by 1. Make no mistake about it. But again, we're happy with growth. I'm happy with the response. I'm happy with the improvement that we made, and that's what I'm looking for. Yeah, I wanted to win the game. I mean, heck, I mean. That's what we're here for. But I am, pleased. And if we continue to take that attitude and have that leadership and that growth, then we'll find the results we're looking for.
Are you submitting any plays to the league office this week?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Is there any clarity that fans can get on some of those calls that? Because I don't know what.
If you want to pay, if you want. Yeah, I get very frustrated, but 50 grand's 50 grand. So, no, if I get pissed enough, I could afford it. No, it doesn't do you any good because anybody, honestly, we're having fun. And in this, when people see the whole content of like our conversations and when I say things tongue in cheek and having fun, that's one thing. But then everybody grabs it out of it and just takes that little blurb, right? And say I'm whining and crying about calls and everything. So, no, it is what it is. I mean, really, after 12 years, I did realize that. You know what I mean? Like, I will, can completely lose my mind if I just hang on to every little thing. It's just like the ball bouncing around 7 times. We can't get an interception we have that leads to a field goal. You know what I mean? It's just, we just got to make the plays. There's no excuses. Officials are going to make mistakes as well. And, we have to overcome those things. And, and so it is what it is.
Mark, without criticizing, were you given an explanation on the pick 6 that was called back and just why it was not an interception?
I have not received that back yet, and when I do, again, I'm just not allowed to share that with you. I mean, one time I had to learn that the hard way early on, but anyway, I mean, even if, I'm not even allowed to give you the explanation they give me, so.
Brock said after the game, you guys have some great red area plays that you can't get off the call sheet yet because you haven't gotten there those last couple of games. There was one at the fringe, first quarter, Barryon drops that, which was almost picked right in front of your sideline, and then in the fourth, Jamori drops that one, he's about to get crunched, and Brock kind of got into him a little bit. Is there some chemistry that still needs to get worked out with those receivers? Are they just dropping too many balls?
No, they're you know, they're playing hard, and you know, the opportunities are tough when you're playing great teams like that, you know, and you have to make the most of every one of them. You know, I think, yes, clearly, you know, both of those passes could have been catches and should have been, but well, you know, again, they're working hard and doing some really good things, because it's not easy for those wideouts either right now. You know, there's times when they're open and they're busting their tail and running as fast as they can time and time again, and we're not getting the protection or can't get it to them. That happens in football. You just got to stay the course. You don't know when that one opportunity will present itself.
Mark, obviously Zion played a really good game Saturday, but what did you see from the safeties at Bull? I mean, I know we talked about the dirty eyes a couple weeks ago. It looked a little cleaner.
Yeah, a little cleaner. Yeah, Zion really played a very good game. You know, the nice thing about him is he really, you know, we're putting him in that position at the medium where it really triggers. He sees things, he trusts it, and, you know, he's playing good there or at safety, but just an instinctual guy that's making some plays. And the defense in general played extremely hard. There's still a lot of little things are going to happen with just how precise we want certain movements, certain games, you know, getting all that in, getting it all communicated, getting checks to all the different formations. There's a lot, and we have to continue to grow. You know, we could have even played better. That's what's crazy, you know, and just being a little more precise with certain things, and you know, but our guys care, and again, you know, I liked the way they really prepared and dug back, you know.
Mark,
Yeah, go ahead.
talked about the running back situation being a little thin
Mm-hmm.
before that game. Jamarian gave you some things.
Mm-hmm.
Can you build on and feel good about?
No doubt, no doubt. You know, we had to put that pressure on him because we needed him, and so he had to respond in a positive way. I think he has. You know, it's consistency that we're looking for. He has the ability, and he's got to continue to grow. So he knows all the protections, all the nuances. Again, there's a ton that we do pre-snap. You know, there's a lot going into it, and he just got to continue to be in tune to those things. And but I'm happy and I'm proud for him, and happy for him that he responded and really had some tough runs against a very good defense. You know, and so I was happy for him.
Mark, I was going to ask, football being such a mental game, when your offense goes back-to-back games without getting in the end zone, as a coaching staff, you have to make more of an effort just to make sure their spirits and confidence stays up, or it's like, hey, keep your head down, do your job, the results are going to come.
Well, we got to continue to do that, you know. And here's the thing: we're a team, right? And we have to complement each other. And it's the offense did some amazing things. You know, starting with the first drive of the game, right? I mean, they're on the half-yard line and go 10 plays out to darn near midfield. We get, by the way, we do get sacked and fumbled. We just recover it. But we punt, get that field position, it leads to 3 points. You know, again, and I don't take offense to the criticism and not going for it, whatever. Again, I've told the coaches on the headset on first down, I had every intention of going for it. I wish we would have gained some yards, you know what I mean, and had a manageable third down, manageable fourth down. You know, but you got to realize in that same zone, on the plus 48, I want to say we had 2 sack fumbles, 1 sack, and 1 sack, and then the next one went back from the plus. Think about if we get 3 there. Think about if Coach Stoops goes conservative and we just run it 3 plays in a row and kick the field goal there, right? Nobody, I mean, again, and I'm not, you know, if you're gonna report this, report the whole damn thing. You know what I mean? Like I'm not, but like if we would have just, you know, went. How many people are saying, hey, Coach Stoops, you're dumb. We had the ball on the plus 47. Why didn't you just pound it 3 more times? We're moving the ball, you know, really good against a good defense. What if we'd have got those 3, instead of gotten sacked, fumbled, and went all the way back to the 22 on the other side? Think about that swing. Nobody talks about that, do they? You know what I mean? So when I had the ball 3 times around the same zone and went negative, negative, and on second down, damn near had a fumble. Third down, damn near had a fumble. We got to that point by playing field position, playing defense. We had a chance to win that game, just the way we played it. We came up a player too short. I stand by that.
Work on that drive that ended with the controversial punt. Do you have any regrets about not running it on second?
On what?
On the drive that ended, with the punt.
The last drive? That's basically the second and the last drive?
Right.
Yeah.
Do you have any regrets in having had time to think about not just running second and 8?
Yeah, I do. And again, like, I don't put handcuffs on the play caller. You know what I mean? I want them to feel good and feel comfortable. I'll say this, before the one that went back to the 22, I said on the headsets prior to it, like beforehand, hey, this is going to be one of those games. Like, you know what I mean? They're tough yards, man. Don't take negative yardage plays and turnovers. And it's not his fault. You know what I mean? It's not his fault, but that's who you're playing. That's where you're getting in the danger zone. And so the recipe was right, especially with the way we ran it. And again, we took our shots. It's a lot like NFL football. You watch NFL football, they make hay on first and second down. You give those beasts time to, bear down on you on predictable pass, nobody's comfortable, especially with the situation we're in right now. And so we only had 3 explosive plays out of 78. So all of a sudden, we're just supposed to convert a 4th and 8 like it's nothing. Second and third, damn near were disasters. So yes, in hindsight, what if we'd have grinded it out there and got it to a manageable third down, we were very efficient, extremely efficient in third in short and third and medium. Not very, I think really the only one we made, we hit one really nice pass to Dane, and then the completely ad-lib scramble, you know what I mean, fluke, that's not going to happen all the time, but that's, so that's where we needed to live in that world. I think we were 3 for 3 in 4 for 4 in 3rd and 2 or 3 or 2 or 1, which is pretty good against that defense. And, so anyway, I thought, and again, I'm not trying to be defensive. I'm just trying to say, people, when you just see one play, watch the game. Watch the whole game like we watch it on film and what you're in the situation you're in. That's all I'm going to ask people. Watch it.
Chip, not on the depth chart. Is he getting close
What's that?
Chip Tradenum's not on the depth chart.
again this week?
He's not available this week.
Is he getting close?
Not available this week.
What about
Hopefully, yeah, he'll be listed as the same as last week. I think he wanted to play and was working hard, so he's on the depth chart this week, and then I'll list again. It's not a league game, but I'll do this. We'll do the same. Probably he'll be, probable to questionable. Last week we did have 2 guys that really went down to the game time decision, and I don't think we want to make a living out of doing that, but we really did. We had 2 guys that really went to game time. I got to give a shout out to Mincy for playing. I was very unsure whether he could play, and he played his tail off. It gave it everything he has, and the same with Maxwell Harrison. You know what I mean? He wasn't feeling great with his shoulder, and just played through it and really played good. So I appreciate the effort. We ain't never going to let anybody play injured, but they were banged up. So.
Punting going into the year, how do you assess how Wilson's done in the games? I know the yardage is maybe a little deceptive because so many of those have been.
Yeah, that was one of the best punters in the country, if not the. And so there was a little discrepancy there, but we still held up, with our field position, with the offense being efficient. Like I said, even though, in a game like that, we're not getting the explosives we want, we're not getting the end zone, people have asked, but those are massive plays when you can get from the -1 to the 50 and flip that field, and so I think that has helped. The fact that we had 23 first downs against that team has helped, and again, going back to my other point, to that point in time, we're very efficient at getting first downs. If we don't get it when you're backed up, we're not built to go. We're not built in predictable pass against Georgia to go the length of the field. We're not built for that at all. but getting 23 first downs is a heck of a deal. And, you know, holding them to that point, I think 10. You know what I mean? And so I'm playing the percentages there, you know, how I thought was the way to win the game. Had it gotten to third and, you know, again, 3rd and 3, 3rd and 4, 4th and 3, 4th and 4, different story, you know.
The punter, he like shanked a punt and went 55 yards. So, is there? I mean, can you try to make your own luck when it seemingly just can't catch a break?
No. You're trying to make me insane. More insane. Should say more. Yeah, let me clarify. More insane. No, you know, it just, you know, it is what it is. You have to make your own luck at some point in time, you know. So, you know, the ball will bounce your way eventually, and you just got to keep on believing and grinding. And if we put ourselves in position and do the things we did a week ago and continue to build on that, then, you know, the ball will bounce our way eventually.
Mark, I asked you last week about the fact that, you know, last season, Boise State, they ranked number 2 in the country in fourth down conversion. What has that communication been like with you and him in these situations where you had talked about whether you should go forward?
Yeah, I think it gets down to the situation. Everything's different. The manageable, you know, no disrespect at all. I don't mean this in any way, but we are playing Georgia. You know what I mean? Not, you know what I mean, somebody in the Mountain West. So there's a difference there. You know what I mean? So you just got to know what the situation is. What's that?
Your defense, even with 3 guys that were maybe 70%, held a team that averaged 425 yards a game to 3 first downs in the first half. It looks to me like they're really starting to not think and react. They're just playing the game. It looks like you got to be really proud of the way that they've really kind of come together.
Well, I was really proud of the response, you know, because, again, you know, keep on going back, but we have to learn, right? We have to learn, we have to grow. We always do. And, you know, and I'm very proud of the way they responded and played extremely hard. And, you know, if we're a little more precise, we have a really good chance to win that game. And those are the plays we got to make. You know what I mean? So, very proud of them, but I'm hanging on to the 1 or 2 that we didn't play right. You know, and that bothers me. You know, so, you know,
All right. Thank you very much.
Mm-hmm.